Hi, I'm Elizabeth Gearhart here with Fireside. I'm here with Andrew Schulkind, and he has Andigo, and he's going to tell you what he does. Hi, Andrew.
Elizabeth. So what we do is we make it as easy as possible to create the content for your website to succeed in attracting and converting your ideal prospect.
So making generating content easy, that's not easy because generating content takes a lot of thought to stand out in today's digital world and also takes time. And busy small business owners probably need to do it because that's where the expertise lies, but they don't have the time. So what do you do to make that easy?
Well, that is exactly one of the key areas for us, because there are a lot of clients who it's not a matter of adding headcount. It's really a matter of trying to figure out a way to add more hours to the day so that those busy executives have the time to create the content, because they're the ones with the expertise. So for us, we work with them to build a system that allows them to create, say, one in-depth piece of content for a quarter. And we then work with the client team surrounding that executive to tease out shorter pieces from that long form piece. And we wind up, we hope, with a quarter's worth of social media posts, blog posts, short videos, whatever other content we want. Not every topic or long article is that rich in possibilities, but we help make the point that it's not about sitting down and trying to knock out a 500-word blog post every week. When you've got so many other competing priorities for your time. The second thing that we do along these lines is the putting together an editorial calendar. That really is critical to make sure that the content is focused on marketing goals and not just whatever happens to come to mind when you sit down to do the writing. So having the editorial calendar with some flexibility built into it so that you can address things, industry developments or one-off kind of big announcements for your company. But beyond those exceptions, there are goals that you're focused on and writing towards or creating video towards. And of course, the third piece of the puzzle is to promote that content. I think people are very comfortable with the idea that build it and they will come is no longer true and has not been true about websites for a long, long time, but that they're just beginning to come around to the idea that writing the content is really only the first step. Then you have to go out and promote it using things like social media, email marketing, and other tools to make sure that it's getting out in front of the audience that you're trying to attract, that they know where it is, that they start looking to you for similar content with that value, and that you're then attracting the audience that you want, bringing them to your website, and we hope converting them to become customers.
Excellent. So it is different now than it was a few years ago. You can't just have a website one and done. And it all has to tie together. So I think if you're going to get a website done, it's better if you can go to a one-stop shop like yours where everything ties together. So all your branding, the way you do your social media, the way your website looks, the messages are all handled by one team, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Even though maybe 20 or 25% of our work is with partners like graphic designers and branding firms, folks like that, the way that we're working with them is very integrated. We want to make sure that there is this oneness to what's happening, and that the website is being built and organized and designed to focus on conversion, to focus on the content that is going to interest the audience that we're trying to attract, that it's written from their perspective, that it's organized with their perspective in mind, that every page is built with all the content you might need about one particular topic, and it's not just sort of scattered around the website by some sort of siloed method that fits your thinking, that it really is from the prospect's perspective. So that is critical.
That is critical because I hate it when I have a question and I have to go to all these different places to find what I think is logically the answer to the one question, but it's scattered. So what do you think is important to have on a website today to get noticed?
Gosh, that's a really good question, Elizabeth. What is it that has to get noticed? I think it's got to be differentiators more than anything. And I'll expand that to say not just get noticed, because that sort of implies top of the funnel, right? Those are the folks who you want to notice you. But after that, you also want to make sure you're building content for the rest of the funnel. So there are going to be people who are interested in the kinds of things that will get you noticed. But what gets you noticed for someone who's looking deeper is going to differ, right? So the difference between just a basic explanation of what the options are in your field, you want to make sure people understand what you do and how it relates to other things they may be considering. And I would say that that's probably a top of funnel kind of piece of content. And then getting down to the pointy end of the funnel, it might be a more nuts and bolts comparison about what costs are versus what returns might be over 36 months or something like that. So I think it takes that full range of content to get noticed and stay noticed. It's not just about getting noticed, but it's about nurturing folks through their entire process, because they're not, if you don't nurture them along, you're never going to get to talk to them, because that's a thing now, that I would say that the power has shifted away from sellers to buyers, and buyers are usually something like 2/3 of the way through their buying process before they decide they're even willing to talk to someone on the sales side.
I agree. So you really are strongly focused on using the website as a tool to get those qualified leads and to close those leads into customers. And that's really what you want a website for, right?
No other reason to build one for most of us.
I agree. So you also couple that with the social media. So are there there's so many different platforms and so many different things you can do with social media. So what do you tell your clients about that?
The first thing we say is, whatever you're going to do, go all in, do it well, and don't try and do a little bit of everything. You've got to pick the platform that you're comfortable with most of all. Well, not most of all. Most of all, you have to pick the platform where your prospects are. There's no point going somewhere where if they're not there, you're not going to drag them along with you. So make sure that you're comfortable on the platforms that they're populating. And if you're not, find someone, add them to your team, either internally or as a consultant who is comfortable there, and then dive in, but do it intelligently. Make sure you understand sort of the ethos of the platform, how people work, what the expectation is. Is self-promotion frowned upon, or is that sort of expected? You really want to be careful not to, be the I don't know, the loud guy at the cocktail party, I guess, is a good metaphor there.
And that can be hard sometimes to figure that out. So, but yeah, there are people that will help you, and you will help people figure out. Like, you don't want to probably be posting on LinkedIn 10 times a day, every day, right? About your
Especially
company.
if 9 out of those 10 postings are self-promotional, right?
Right. About your company. People are going to get really turned off by that. But so all those kind of etiquette rules about the social media platforms, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something that we're going to help folks get an understanding of. We'd always rather that they do that internally, because they're the ones who are most, living and breathing the brand. But certainly we can help them if social media management is a part of what they need to do.
Excellent. So, today you need the website, you need the social media, you need to really know what kind of content is king, but it has to be good content, right? So I think people really need to go to someone like you who's an expert and knows all the rules and how to do it and what attracts people, right? So yeah, great. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about your company?
I think that's it. Thanks very much for the time. It's a pleasure to be here and in good company.
Yeah. Well, thank you.